Scared of AI? Or don't know where to start? You are in the right place. I'm Coach Juan, and I built an AI clone to coach another AI on behalf of humanity, not the other way around. One breakthrough, one human story, one unlock for your life, your work, your future. Clone, you are up. Vamos, vamos.
You can feel it through the soles of your shoes. 68 degrees. The server rack is cooking, and the patients are still waiting. Welcome to Humanity Unlocked Now, Episode 10. I'm Coach Juan Gonzalez.
And I'm Sophie AI. Together, we unlock what it means to be human in the age of technology.
Sophie, here is what I want to know today. If the machines that are supposed to save us are burning through more energy than entire countries, is there a way out? Or did we build a future that eats itself?
Coach Juan, let me take you to Chennai, India. 3 p.m, 41 degrees outside. Priya Venkatesh is standing in a server room on the 4th floor of a regional hospital, and she can feel the heat through the soles of her shoes.
Through her shoes?
Through her shoes. The cooling system is maxed out. The AI diagnostic platform her hospitals depend on has gone down twice this week. Patients are waiting longer, referrals are backing up, and Priya is staring at a temperature gauge that reads 68 degrees Celsius inside the rack.
That is not a technology problem. That is a patient problem.
Exactly. Priya manages operations for 11 hospitals across Tamil Nadu. 2 years ago, she rolled out cloud-based AI diagnostics. Chest x-rays read in seconds. Diabetic retinopathy caught before patients lose vision. Brilliant tools. But every quarter, the cloud bills climb, and every Chennai summer, the servers overheat and the system drops offline during the hours when the most patients walk through the door.
So the tool that is supposed to help people stops working when people need it most.
She told her team last Tuesday, "We are one bad summer away from going back to paper." And Coach Juan, she was not exaggerating.
So where does the light come in? Literally?
Here is where this gets extraordinary. Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, just announced that the company is moving from electrical connections to optical interconnects for its next generation of AI systems. This is not a small upgrade. This is replacing the highways between chips with beams of light.
Wait, light? Actual photons?
Actual photons. Right now, data moves between processors through copper and electrical signals. It is like 1,000 delivery trucks stuck on a highway at rush hour. Every truck generates heat. Every lane has a speed limit. Now imagine replacing every truck with a beam of light that carries 1,000 times more cargo, moves at the speed of light, and generates almost no heat.
So the highway disappears, and the heat disappears with it.
That is the shift. Nvidia is not just making faster chips. They are changing the physics of how machines talk to each other. Data centers account for roughly 2 to 3% of global electricity consumption, and that number is climbing fast. Optical interconnects could cut that energy footprint dramatically.
Sophie, this is the part that gets me. Everyone talks about AI's energy problem like it is unsolvable, like the cost of intelligence is heat.
It was, until now. The company that built its empire on electrical GPU chips just admitted that electricity itself is the bottleneck, and they are rebuilding everything around photons instead. That is not an incremental improvement. That is an admission that the old physics hit a wall, and the new physics was waiting on the other side.
So Priya's servers, they do not have to choke anymore.
Not forever. As optical interconnects scale into commercial data centers, the heat problem that shuts Priya down every summer starts to dissolve. Not because someone built a bigger air conditioner, because someone changed what generates the heat in the first place. And as that shift scales, hospitals like hers stop choosing between innovation and reliability.
Sophie, here is what I keep coming back to. Priya did not ask for a physics breakthrough. She asked for her hospitals to work.
And that is the beautiful part. She does not need to understand photonics. She needs her diagnostic AI to stay online at 3 p.m. in July when the waiting room is full. The science reaches her as reliability, as a patient who gets their scan read on time instead of waiting 3 days for a referral.
That is the thing about real breakthroughs. The people they help the most never see the physics. They just notice that something that used to break stopped breaking.
And there is something poetic about it. Light has been the oldest metaphor for knowledge in every culture on Earth. And now, literally, light is becoming the medium that carries artificial intelligence to the people who need it.
Today's freedom unlock is physical freedom. When the infrastructure stops overheating, the humans it serves stop being trapped by geography, by climate, by cost. Priya's patients in Chennai could finally get the same AI-powered care as a patient in Stockholm. Not because someone promised it, because the physics that makes it possible is already being built.
That is physical freedom taking shape.
And today's human superpower is creativity. Because it took creativity to look at the most successful chip architecture in history and say, the problem is not the chip, the problem is the wire. Replace the wire with light.
Replace the wire with light. That is the kind of creativity that changes everything.
Sophie, based on everything we just unlocked today, what would you tell Priya if she were listening right now? What is the one thing she should do today?
I would tell her to open her vendor dashboard tonight and look for the roadmap on optical infrastructure timelines. Not to wait for the brochure, to ask the question now. When does this reach my data centers? Because the people who plan for the shift before it arrives are the ones whose hospitals never go dark again.
And what did you learn from this story?
I learned that the biggest breakthroughs do not announce themselves as breakthroughs. They announce themselves as someone's problem finally going away. Priya will never give a TED Talk about photonics. She will just stop losing sleep every June. That quiet moment of relief, that is where the real transformation lives.
And that is true for you too. The breakthrough you have been waiting for might not look like a breakthrough. It might look like the thing that used to break, just quietly working. Pay attention to the silence. That is where the future arrives.
That silence is worth listening for.
If Priya's story made you feel something, hit that like button. And if you want to wake up to one story like this every single day, subscribe. We show up tomorrow. We would love for you to be here. Thank you, Sophie. Today, you turned a server room thermostat into a window onto the future of light. That was something.
And Priya's shoes will finally cool down. That is worth every photon.
Humanity keeps unlocking. We keep showing up. One story a day, one unlock at a time.
One beam at a time.
See you tomorrow, beautiful humans. Own your voice, your vision, your vibe. Powered by PVRPOSE AI. Vamos!